Hello, my students. It's me again, Madam Gracious Kanzieni from Educare Tanzania. I hope you are doing well. My Form 4 student, we are proceeding with our chemistry sessions, and we are proceeding with our series of our sessions whereby tunaendelea kuona kuhusiana na topiki yetu ambayo ni soil chemistry. Na katika hii topiki yetu, my student, we have several subtopics whereby we have the soil formation, plant nutrient in the soil, we have soil reaction, but also we have manure and fertilizers, and the final we have the soil fertility and the productivity. We have already passed through some of the subtopic, but my student, in the previous session tulianza kuhusiana na manure and their fertilizers. Now, today we are going to look on the another concept of fertilizers. Now, fertilizers, by simple definition, tunavyoongelea fertilizer, this is inorganic substance which added to soil to supply one or more plant nutrient. Kwamba tuliangalia kuhusiana na manure. Manure tuliangalia kwamba yenyewe ni organic substance ambayo it is from the decomposition of animal wastes as well as plant materials. But here when we talk about fertilizer, mbolea, hapa tunaongelea kuhusiana na inorganic substance ambazo hizo inorganic substance zinakuwa added to supply one or more nutrient katika plant. Kwamba hii ni mbolea ambayo inakuwa added, unafaa kuifanyia added, yani unaiongezea kwenye soil, kwenye eneo lako, maybe shambani au sehemu ambayo umeoteshea mazao yako. The aim is to supply nutrient. It might be the nutrient more than one, or it might be maybe the fertilizer is made up of potassium nutrient or phosphorus nutrient or nitrogen nutrient. It depends. So my student here, we are going to look details concerning about the fertilizers or fertilizer. Now, the fertilizers, there is a different classification of fertilizers. Fertilizers are classified on the basis of the following. Kwamba yenyewe imekuwa classified au imekuwa categorized kulingana na the following basis. The first basis is on the nutrient content. Kwamba cha kwanza tunaangalia tuna base na content, I mean the nutrient content, wingi wa nutrient. But also another basis is time of application. Kwamba manures, I mean fertilizers zimekuwa categorized or zimekuwa typed in form of or based on the time of application, muda wa kutumika. So maybe there is muda ambao wakati unaotesha au muda ambao mazao yashaota and so forth. So the way we proceed, tutaenda kuona maybe katika time of application tunaenda kuona vitu gani, tunaenda kuona types zipi za fertilizers ambazo zinakuwa applicable. Another is the effect on soil pH. Kwamba also the fertilizer imekuwa classified based on the effect of soil pH. Hatuwezi tu kufanya addition ya fertilizers katika soil wakati hatujaangalia category, hatujaangalia criteria ya pH. Lazima to consider the soil pH so as you can able to make addition of those fertilizers to supply the nutrient kwenye plant pale ambapo tumeshakuwa aware which kind of soil pH or which kind of soil pH is this. So maybe the soil is made up of acidic content or base content. So what kind of fertilizers we can able to add there so as to support the healthy growth of the plant and so forth. Now, my student, let us start with the one basis or one category of this kind of fertilizers to another. By starting with the first one, which is basis on the nutrient content. Here, it is the fertilizers containing two or more of the primary micronutrients. My student, nakumbuka kabisa kipindi cha nyuma wakati tunasoma soil nutrient, tulisoma categories of soil nutrient. Tuliona kuna macronutrient na micronutrient. Ambapo kwenye macronutrient tuliona kwamba the nutrient zinakuwa required in the large quantity. So the nutrients zinakuwa required in large quantity. So tunapoongelea nutrient content here, we are talking it is categorized of the fertilizer. It is a category of fertilizer whereby fertilizer inakuwa contain two or more primary micronutrients. Now, this nutrient content imekuwa divided in some types. For instance, we have the straight fertilizers and we have the compound fertilizers. Straight fertilizers simply means straight, kama unavyoona jina la hiyo aina ya fertilizer kwamba ni straight, but also compound fertilizer, it means that kumekuwa na combination of two or more fertilizers or nutrient and so forth. Now tuone tukiongelea straight fertilizer tunamaanisha nini, tukiongelea compound fertilizer pia tunamaanisha nini, tunaenda kuona. Now, let us look on the straight fertilizers. Straight fertilizers contain only one of the primary micronutrient. Kwamba hii ina only one primary micronutrient. So utakuta kama hii kind of fertilizer kama ina nitrogen ina only nitrogen. Kama ina phosphorus ina only phosphorus. Kama ina potassium ina only potassium. So it have the only one kind of primary micronutrient. Now the classes of straight fertilizer. Kwamba hii straight fertilizer yenyewe imekuwa categorized. First we have the nitrogenous fertilizers, we have the phosphatic fertilizers, and we have the potassic fertilizers. So here we are going to look on nitrogenous fertilizers, we are going to have the phosphatic fertilizers, and also we are going to have the potassic fertilizers. My student, here mean that tunapoongelea straight fertilizer tumesema kwamba inakuwa imecontain only one primary micronutrient, and those micronutrient it is made from nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So here I mean that we are going to look on the nitrogenous fertilizer, mean that this kind of straight fertilizer it's made up of nitrogen. But also when we are going to look on the phosphatic fertilizer, I mean that this kind of fertilizer it's made up of one primary micronutrient, which is the phosphorus. But also when we are going to look on the potassic fertilizer, mean that this kind of fertilizer it is made up of only primary micronutrient, which is the potassium. So I hope now umepata kitu. So now let us start with the nitrogenous fertilizers. When we talk about nitrogenous fertilizers, it contain nitrogen as only primary micronutrient. Kwamba hizi zimekuwa zimecontain nitrogen kama nilivyowaambia. Tunavyoongelea zile primary micronutrient tunaongelea only 3 essential elements ambazo ni nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So tunavyoanza kuzicategorize hizi kind of straight fertilizers ambapo tumesema kwamba zenyewe is made up of only one primary micronutrient, means that tunapass through the nitrogenous ambayo is fertilizer made up of nitrogen, tunapass through the phosphorus and as well as the potassium. So by starting with this kwamba hizi nitrogenous fertilizers ni zile fertilizer ambazo ziko made up of nitrogen, ambaye nitrogen pale ana exist as the micronutrient na is only one. For instance, we have a lot of them. Kwa mfano tuna calcium nitrate. Calcium nitrate ambayo ni CnCan. This one is calcium nitrate ambayo sample yake chemical formula yake na tukaandika hivi. This is ammonium nitrate plus calcium nitrate. So this is kind of nitrogenous fertilizers. But also we have ammonium sulfate nitrate ambayo ni ASN, ammonium sulfate nitrate. Na chemical formula yake ndo hizi hapa. But also we have the ammonium, we have sulfate of ammonia kwamba we have sulfate of ammonia. Sulfate of ammonia, this one, ammonium sulfate and so forth. This one is a sulfate of ammonia. But also we have another nitrogenous fertilizers, which is the urea. Urea is another nitrogenous fertilizer simply kwa sababu ana hizi. From this compound is where we can have the nitrogen there. So as you can see here, this one is the urea. So now let us see the properties of nitrogenous fertilizers. Kwamba this kind of fertilizers zina sifa zipi? Tunapoongelea properties of nitrogenous fertilizer here are highly soluble in soil water. So this kind of fertilizers zenyewe ni highly soluble in soil water, kwamba kwenye soil water yenyewe ni soluble. Another is easily reached to lower soil horizons beyond the root zone of the most crops, kwamba zenyewe zinakuwa easy to be reached, ni rahisi sana kuwa removed au kuwa washed to another area. The aim is to lower the soil horizons beyond the zone of the most crops, kwamba utakuta kwamba the zone of the some crops root zinakuwa higher or close to those horizons. So hizi nutrient, hizi nitrogenous fertilizers zinakuwa na sifa ya kuwa high reached. The aim is to kama ipo beyond the roots of the crops zone. Another is they applied to growing crops, kwamba this kind of nitrogenous fertilizer mostly zinakuwa applied, zinatumika katika growing plants, crops, wakati wa kuotesha yale mazao. So another is do not remain in the soil for a long time. So as I said kwamba zinakuwa very to be reached, to be removed from one area to another. So hazistay long time, kwa muda mrefu katika soil. Hizi ni sifa za this kind of nitrogenous waste. But also zenyewe zinafanya scorching the plant parts, zinafanya ile plant, zina scorch ile plant baadhi ya parts, zile sehemu za mmea au za plant. And also they are highly volatile under hot weather condition. Tumeona kwamba zenyewe ni soluble in soil water, so also ni very high volatile, na for instance ikiwa katika condition ya hot weather. So katika hot weather hizi kind of nitrogenous fertilizers zinakuwa ni highly volatile. But also they are hydroscopic. When I'm talking about hydroscopic, this simply means that absorption of moisture from atmosphere. So they are able to make, they are capable to make absorption. They absorb moistures from the atmosphere. So zinabeba sifa au zinabeba property ya kuwa ni hydroscopic. But also most have corrosive effect. Corrosive effect means that his nitrogenous waste, fertilizers, zikikudondokea mkononi zinakupelekea effect, zinakupelekea madhara, zinaenda kukuharm, zinaenda kufanya corrosion katika your skin and so forth. So they are corrosive. They are corrosive. Hizo ndo sifa za hizo nitrogenous waste. But here we are going to look, those was a general properties of this nitrogenous waste. But here we are going to look on the properties of nitrogenous waste. We are going to look the fertile, kind of the fertile, but also we are going to look on the characteristic, kwamba this kind of fertile ina sifa gani. So when we start to see CAN, when we talk about CAN, here we are talking about this kind of fertilizer, which is calcium nitrate. CAN, it is calcium nitrate. So when we talk about calcium nitrate fertilizer, hii ni mbolea. Sasa ina sifa gani au ina characteristics zipi? So here we're going to categorize the characteristics of those kind of fertilizers one after another. So the calcium, this is calcium nutrient. Calcium nitrate. So the calcium nitrate here first mixed with the ammonium nitrate and the calcium carbonate, kwamba yenyewe inachanganyika na ammonium nitrate vile vile na calcium carbonate. But also this one calcium nitrate yenyewe ina contain 21% of nitrogen, kwamba the percentage composition of calcium nutrient it is about 21%. Another is neutralized fertilizer, neutral fertilizer. When we say it is neutral fertilizer, simply mean that it is neither acidic nor basic. Sio acid wala sio basic. It is neutral. Haina acid wala basic. So it is neutral fertilizer. But also improve the soil structure, kwamba hii hapa calcium nitrate yenyewe ina improve soil structure, inapelekea soil structure inakuwa improved in one way or another. But also it's hygroscopic and non-corrosive, kwamba hii yenyewe is non-corrosive. Tuliona kwamba the nitrogenous waste zina sifa ya kuwa na corrosive. So kumbe tukiwa tunaangalia moja baada ya nyingine ndo tunaweza tukajua kwamba okay, this is it can be corrosive au haina. So kumbe this calcium nitrate yenyewe haina corrosive, it's non-corrosive, lakini yenyewe ni hygroscopic, kwamba yenye ile situation ya kufanya absorption of moisture from the atmosphere. But also it's applied at the top as a top dress, kwamba inakuwa applied as a top dress, kwamba at the beginning there, at the in the first stage while you are doing your crop, while you are planting your crops. But also it is grayish granule, kwamba zinakuwa katika hali ya granule, ambayo zinakuwa katika hali ya grayish granules, this kind of fertilizer. Another fertilizer is this one. This one ASN. ASN simply it means that the ammonium sulfate nitrate. Ammonium sulfate nitrate. So when we talk about ASN, we're talking about ammonium sulfate nitrate. So this is another types of fertilizer whereby they have the following characteristics. So sifa zake ni zipi? Ammonium sulfate nitrate yenyewe ina mixture of ammonium nitrate and ammonium sulfate, kwamba yenyewe ni mixture, ni mchanganyiko uliopo kati ya ammonium nitrate na ammonium sulfate. So ammonium sulfate nitrate yenyewe ni mchanganyiko wa kati ya ammonium nitrate vile vile na ammonium sulfate. So it contain about 261% of nitrogen. So do you see how they vary? Kunakuwa na interval kubwa sana kutoka kwenye 21 ya calcium nitrate mpaka 261% ya nitrogen. So they differ in their percentage composition. Very quite different. So hii hapa ammonium sulfate nitrate yenyewe imecontain 261% composition of the nitrogen. Quite different from that of calcium nitrate, ambayo yenyewe ilikuwa na just 21% composition. So another, it is less acidic compared to calcium nitrate, kwamba hii hapa ni less acidic, na kiwango kidogo cha acid. But also it is brownish orange or yellow granules, kwamba zenyewe zinakuwa katika rangi ya brown or yellow. So ile kule tuliona ni greenish granules. So this is kind of brownish granule or yellow orange or yellow granules, but they have high corrosive. Tuliona kwenye calcium nitrate tuliona zenyewe ni non-corrosive. Kumbe hizi hii hapa ammonium sulfate nitrate yenyewe ni very corrosive, ina ile corrosive content kubwa. For instance, ikispill kwenye skin inaenda kucorrode your skin, inaenda kufanya collide, inaenda kudamage your skin kwa sababu ina hii high corrosive power. Another is the SCA. SCA, here we are talking about the here it is a nitrogen in the ammonium form, kwamba when we talk about SA here we mean that the SA means the sulfate of ammonium. SA tunaongelea fertilizer ambayo ni sulfate of ammonium. So the sulfate of ammonium yenyewe imecontain 20 to 21 nitrogen in the ammonium form, kwamba yenyewe sulfur ammonium yenyewe imecontain kwamba kiwango percentage composition yake ni 20 mpaka 21 ambayo inakuwa ni ya nitrogen katika form of ammonia. Mean that ammonia isingekuwa na hiyo percentage, but because of the ammonia, presence of ammonium there in this fertilizer is where ina contain 20 mpaka 21. But also it is acidic forming fertilizer. This one is the acidic forming fertilizer, kwamba ni mbolea ambayo yenyewe ni acidic in nature. Wakati katika ile nyingine tuliona kwamba ni acid, ina less acidic. but also it is white crystals, almost like sugar, high volatile, kwamba zenyewe zinakuwa na white crystals, ambapo sometimes it's almost like sugar, crystals of sugar, but also zenyewe ni high volatile, inaenda kuwa sawa na calcium nitrate. But also we have urea. Urea is another fertilizer whereby contain 45 to 60, 46% of nitrogen. Kwa hiyo kiwango cha nitrogen katika urea ni 45 mpaka 46. So is lost by evaporation and leaching. Kwa hiyo hii kind of urea ni very rahisi, ni rahisi sana kuwa leached na kuwa removed au be evaporated katika soil. Also prefer to high absorption capacity like sugar cane, kwamba yenyewe ina prefer high absorption capacity. For instance, sugar cane kwenye miwa. So you can see this kind of urea how it is. So also has a scorching effect. Pia vile vile ina scorching effect, lakini kingine ni kwamba ni soluble. It is very soluble kama tulivyoona kwenye calcium nitrate. But also, my student, there is a task here for you. The aim of this task is to ensure that you make your time kujaribu kufanya majaribio. You need to have a trial so you can be perfect katika hivi tunavyojifunza. The question is, describe the classification of nutrient content. Also, what are the advantages and disadvantages of nitrogenous fertilizers? 33 points on each. Kila moja maybe advantages were 3, disadvantages were 3. So I hope you will have a nice time to attempt the task. So my student, this mark the end of our session. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment our Media Educare TZ. Bye bye. Have a nice moment.
Purchase your tracks today.